Hi there, friends. This is Emily Craig, and it is Monday, the 2nd of December, and we're moving on to the holidays. And one of the things that I keep noticing is the number of people who are giving up. They're giving into disease, or they're giving into despair, or they're just not coping very well. And the challenge here in the physical between fifth dimensional problem avoidance versus third dimensional problem solving is an absence of the occult value placed upon the heart and the heart's ability to integrate the mind with the will. And so I thought I'd deal with some of the issues of the heart that we can examine in our own lives, and to detect how well we're doing. Okay, I know it's useful and helpful to get feedback from other people, but sometimes that's just not possible. Sometimes we're isolated, sometimes we're solitary, and we have to become our own coach. So let's think about how we coach ourselves. All right, and I'm going to use the analog number system because it's so helpful in organizing language. Okay, the number 80 is to relate as an effort, which is to detect. We have to detect not only the effects that are before us, but also their causes. And in order to do that, we have to 81 integrate the steps that occur between a cause and effect. That's something we have to do cognitively. And if we can't integrate going backwards from something that happened back to its cause, we have a cognitive problem. We have a blockage. And one of the first and most useful steps to clear the blockage, okay, what can we do? We can take a walk, relax and expand our minds, listen to some solfeggio, excuse me, solfeggio tones. We can do whatever we need to do to expand our awareness. Okay, that enables us to integrate the steps between causes and effects when we expand our awareness. 82, excuse me, is relating to our choices and the choices that our knowledge has created. We know certain things. A problem comes up when people don't differentiate between knowing and believing. And there's a huge difference between what you know and what you believe. Okay, just for you to chew on. All right. Number 83 is a prime number, and it has to do with the competency that we exhibit as a tool, and a tool is a 38. A tool is an engagement in relation, okay? An engagement in relation is the obverse of a competency, 83. And if we feel incompetent, if we feel less than we need to be, something we can productively think about is setting ourselves some goals to become competent in the areas where we feel deficient. And we know we're deficient wherever that specter of guilt is attacking our heart. Okay, and this is all about helping the heart to cope with the contradictions that we see before our eyes every day between what we know and what somebody believes, between what we see and what we hear, between what somebody says and what we know is true. These contradictions occur to us and before us all day long. All right. And so 83 is about the feeling of competence, that we can address contradictions and sift and sort them and make sense out of them in order to create coherence. Coherence is 63. All right. 84 is, what are we certified for? What are we acknowledged as having mastered? And is what we have mastered a matter of good feelings? Good feelings. You know, there's a feeling of power that comes to the kids who play video games and simply blow things up. It's easy to blow things up. It's easy to make somebody angry. It's easy to destroy a relationship, a job, make a wreck of the living room. It's easy to create chaos. But if we are certified and certifiable in our own minds, it means we have a process of 48 for creating order, enough order in our own lives so that we can proceed with our path and what we are doing without constantly having to go look for things. If we're constantly having to go look for things, then we haven't certified ourselves as competent. Okay. 85, coming from the heart, is gratitude. And gratitude is the fundamental and the foundation of the ability to manifest, which is 91. Okay. That's gratitude in a pursuit results in a manifestation. All right. 86 is our function, our purpose, our reason for being here. And if we haven't figured that out yet, is the problem out there or is the problem in here? Let's look in here first and find out why we're not paying attention to in here enough, that what it is we're engaged in and doing isn't much fun. Okay. 87, which is also a prime number, is an identity. And its reciprocal, 78, is our sense of reality. And so our sense of reality is bound up with our identity. And all we have to do to change who we are and what we are is change how we think. If we start editing and blocking the thoughts that create the conditions we don't like, if we block what we don't want, and if we cultivate and promote what we do want, then our outcomes improve, and then our whole life improves. But it's an incremental thing. It's a habit pattern thing. It's a practicing thing to become a function that's good for something and not just for oneself. It's also good to be part of and caring in the larger society. Okay. 88 is what's appropriate times perceptions, which is 11 times 8. And it has to do with our ability to lead and motivate other people. Can we do that? Sometimes we can, sometimes we can't. But whether we're on the right track or not, whether we can keep going or not, has a lot to do with whether we can move the hearts in other people, whether we can gain their empathy, gain some sympathy for the cause, the 86 that we're part of. And 89 is to convey. Are we able to speak our feelings and speak our thoughts and describe and discriminate between what we think is the correct thing and what we feel is the correct thing? If we can put ourselves through these little this little game of analysis, we can for ourselves determine how much harmony our heart is experiencing. And if we don't have enough harmony and we're miserable, we're going to know that even if we, well, you know, I went for years and struggled and fought and resisted and I was miserable and I didn't even know it. I didn't know how unhappy I was. And sometimes now that I've worked on my functions and my relationships and my ability to speak what's real for me, I'm finding sometimes I'm happy and I don't know that either. Self-awareness is really tricky, you know? So for all of the psychological videos that are being perpetrated now, and so many of them have to do with narcissism, and I almost have to laugh. I was watching one yesterday, and the video producer, the creator, was saying that the way to stop a narcissist is to say, I'm sorry you feel that way, or I think differently. In other words, slam the person you're talking to with a wall of indifference. What that person didn't realize was that she was embodying the practices of a narcissist. I had to laugh. We do get into some complicated logic trees, don't we? All right. So we can analyze ourselves to death, and that may not help. We may have family support. We may not. We may have found God in between the lines of text and in between the events that we witness, and that may not yet be true. There's always another and a new day tomorrow. So when things haven't gone the way we wanted them to go, a technique that helped me tremendously twice in my life, and I've been a Christian for a long time, was what they call being born again. And it can happen for anybody. You get down on your knees and you say to yourself in your own heart, your own mind, and your own will, this is not what I wanted, this is not what I signed up for, and I want to start over in the morning. I don't want to have the same crap flying around in my head tomorrow morning. I want to start fresh, I want to start new, and I want to have a better chance tomorrow. So please have somebody come around and sweep away all of this bad stuff and give me a second chance. Whether you actually connect with God or not, who knows? But making the argument that you have had enough of this and you want to start over is a way to continue to exist and be in reality and move and push and strive for a better day and not give up. Not give up. The privilege and opportunity to live and experience the physical domain is an amazing privilege and opportunity. Let's not waste it by being more unhappy than we need to be. This has been Emily Craig. Go ahead, hit the subscribe button and the little bell, and I'll put a book or two down below so you can see some other information that I have been able to download that I can share with you. Cheap, it's, you know, it's on Kindle, it's $1 or $2. And we all work on ourselves, you know. I sure do. Thank you so much for coming by. Bye-bye.